they finally like backed you guys up a little bit.
Let's start us off, guys. Go ahead, Evan.
Last week you said you were hoping to have more clarity on Logan, kind of where he's at. Is there any more information on kind of what he's dealing with right now?
There is, but I don't have anything to share just yet. Like we're hoping that we're getting some good information right now on how to get him back to playing, but I'm gonna wait on that just till we're 100% sure because we're just kind of getting some information yesterday and today.
Really?
No, Mac and not just on the ice today.
No, just it was optional. I wasn't on either.
Jesse.
Coach, obviously, we don't have to talk about the goaltender interference from Long Island specifically, but there was kind of a run the last few days of challenges that maybe coaches didn't agree with. And it feels like we're hearing from coaches more than in years past. Is that maybe just a sign of like, hey, there's a lot of confusion in what these calls are, and coaches are finally just saying something about it?
Yeah, like I'm sure there's ebbs and flows to it. Like for every individual coach, for the coaches as a whole. I mean, all the like onus is kind of put on us to like be making the calls. So with that, I think like we want as much clarity as we can get, and I think you'll go through stretches where like we watch all of the coaches' challenges and we're like, yep, understand it, get it. And you remember ones in the recent past, you remember ones from a year or two ago, you remember all the ones that you have conversations with the league about and try to get clarity on so you can make the best decisions. Because going down a man for 2 minutes is not a great option for you, you know? Some guys are more conservative than others, but I think you're just looking for clarity that so you can at least make the right call or know the odds of the call being overturned when you make it right. And I've gone through stretches where I feel like I'm close to 100% on him, and I've gone through stretches where I'm way below 50 on him. So when I get in that spot, if other coaches are feeling that way, then you tend to articulate it a little bit. And so I feel like there is some confusion right now, and the league will do its best to keep sending out the videos and descriptions, and we'll keep calling and asking for clarity so we can make the best call for our teams.
Kobe, then Corey.
Coach, the 1996 team is being on tonight. How cool is it to have those guys just around the rink and be here for the game?
It's pretty cool. Yeah. I know they had their big function last night and got together and with the fans and then after as a group and sharing stories and memories, and they're all a bunch of them are here this morning, hanging around and talking to our guys. And but I think it's pretty special. Like it shows you where you're trying to get to as a team. You you grinding with guys for 8-9 months at the least amount of time, and sometimes it takes years, and when you have success it's a bond that'll last a lifetime, and it's just a good reminder of that, and being able to see all the legends and of the game, and Avs legends here and mingling with their guys. I think it's pretty special.
Corey, then Pat.
Gavin Ridley going to play tonight?
He is.
He, like, whenever any player comes back from injury, sometimes it takes a while to get back. We talked about Ross last year, just him being a young guy and being sort of this first time through all this. Is there anything different with him, trying to get him back and running after an injury like that?
Not at all. I actually think he's going to come back and be really good. A young guy, he's going to bounce back quick. He's pretty disciplined in his approach to the game, and part of it is just him working and his relentlessness on the puck and the competitiveness that he brings. And I think that that is something that's not going to go away after just a couple weeks for him.
Pat, then Eric.
I guess if you're around hockey enough, you see a little bit of everything, and sometimes things you don't see that often. And that Scott Wedgwood thing, was that kind of a bizarre situation? It seemed like when they told you, you're kind of smirking a little bit. Were you?
Well, because I knew it was coming. I saw him go over to the penalty box and have a conversation. So there was only there wasn't many things that they were going to come over and talk to us about at that point. I just think the timing of it's odd. I get the rule. I understand it. I certainly agree with it in play. Like when you see someone get hit and they look like it could be a head injury that you want to address it and take them out of the game and be sure. And it's a precaution put in place for very good reason. Um, it was a little delayed, which is I think it's normal with that process of who needs to be called and the translation between a couple different parties to get down to the refs to pull them for us. Um, I just don't like we have to score on Landy's shot to even for it to continue. So maybe they could have just had their conversation quick, let Landy shoot, and then maybe nothing happens if it ended the same way. Um, I also think because I know because our trainer went out, Maddie went out, and he just kind of like tweaked his back a little bit. And if that's the information we have, then there's no need to take him out. I think Maddie's very good at what he does, and he talks to Wedgie about the reason why he went down, why he was slow to get up, and if it's back, then there's no need to pull him out of the game. I think you have to trust the guys that we have hired to do that job that he's okay. I also think even if it was his head that facing a 3-second penalty shot or shootout isn't probably the end of the world either. I don't think he's going to have serious repercussions physically after that workload. So it was just seemed a little strange. You don't see it. I understand it, and I agree with the protocols that they have in place, and it just kind of is what it is. You're probably risking more injury though if you by putting Blackwood in cold and having him have to strain and stretch and flex on one penalty shot than you are with Wedge.
Yeah.
Can you share who's coming out for Brimley?
Barkov.
A couple last ones, Colleen and Megan.
Just the Panthers coming in on a back-to-back, struggling with injuries, and you guys coming off this long road trip. What are you kind of looking and focusing on tonight against them?
Yeah, should be similar energy levels, I'm thinking. Them playing last night, us coming off of this trip. It's a good team. They make a great forechecking team. They make it hard at you at your own net. Like a lot of their goals, their identity is taking pucks hard to the cage and hanging around there and making it really difficult on your defenders, especially net front. They're always a really connected group of five on the ice, so we'll have to be the same. And yeah, we have some areas that we feel like we want to attack tonight, and they're going to continue to play to their identity. And got to be able to find some open ice tonight to get up and moving, and getting through their forecheck is not easy.
What's been your assessment of the power play through this last stretch, and what do you want to see to drive more consistent results?
It's been okay. Some power plays have looked really good, and some not so much. So to me, what I want to see drive more consistent results is more consistency in our execution, our decision making. Mostly those two things. Um, like first power play the other night, Nashville, great. Last one gets us a big goal, 6-on-4. The middle couple weren't quite as good with the execution and the decision making for us with the puck. And that's kind of the way it was in the road trip. I think it's coming a little bit. We've got some new personnel coming onto it a little bit. We're starting to pop some of the guys off Unit 2 on to Unit 1 with Kale and Max staying. So we have a little bit of a change of plans and trying to make it a little bit more competitive within our group instead of just Unit 1 and nobody else. But yeah, I think it's about discipline with their puck moving. I think it's about execution at times, and the decision making is a little bit of a issue sometimes. Like we get into the zone, we make a play, we rush something or mis-execute, it comes out of the zone, then they stuff us once and half the power play's gone, right? And I don't think we can afford to make those mistakes if we want to be a top power play in the league.